West-Friesland in the province of North Holland, proof in the 19th century that a man could get rich from farming and have a convenient place nearby, like the town of Schagen, to go to spend money on his wife. Signs of the old life are still around, like the pyramid-shaped farms. House and stable rolled into one, just a wall between stall and bedroom. Behind the inner dike is Schagen, its big square still the scene of a sheep market every week, a market for other livestock too. Livestock raising predominated in West-Friesland because of shortcomings in its soil, which was mostly too sandy for growing crops. It's a deal. Slapping hands is the way you dicker over price. There's a blacksmith on hand, too. The market for horseshoes is not as big as it used to be, of course, so he travels the Netherlands to ply his trade, coming to Schagen once a week on Tuesdays in the summer. From the 19th century past, a West-Friesian country gentleman and his wife, in their best Sunday clothes. They brought their favorite horse to the blacksmith. West-Friesian costume was one of the richest of all the Dutch provinces, but over the Sunday petticoats went something to make the town pickpocket think twice. A loose pocket, hanging on its own from the waist, a standard part of attire. Husbands liked to spend money on their wives, and they certainly made enough of it. Not only from sheep raising either. There was a thriving trade in timber in the area, and fishing too. The jacket and the skirt are of fine blue damask. Nothing was too good for these country people. The shoes are the button-hook type. Winding bobbin lace, handmade and a lot of work. But buying enough for a nice cap, like hers, cost no more than $100. It's the systematic way she moves the bobbins about that transforms the linen yarn into patterned lace. The pins are stuck into cushions in a particular design. The other woman is busy tatting borders for table linen. The rich farmers' wives adorned themselves with a costly combination of cap and casque. Purse permitting, and it often did, a gold or jeweled ornament went on the forehead. She's wearing a black skull cap of fine wool and a white undercap. Over them go the combined casque and lace cap, which is fastened to the casque with gold pins. The tips of the casque evolved into large gold squares called boeken, or books. The pins stuck in behind the books were held with little chains to keep them from getting lost. The covered part of the casque could be seen gleaming through the cap. Necklaces and bracelets were costly, a Dutch form of conspicuous consumption only the very well-to-do could afford. In West-Friesland, the high-volume, high end of the market, sales were brisk. And why settle for one of something when two would do just as nicely? The matching bracelets consisted of 3 or 4 strands of garnet or coral. Each had a beautifully decorated catch. Over the white lace cap went the so-called zwarte dekje, which means black hat. It was tied with ribbon under the chin. The white lace cap was traditional. The zwarte dekje was the latest fashion from towns like Schagen, the traditional and the modern, like having your cake and eating it too. It all added up to West-Friesland attire for going out, costume for special occasions and for church on Sunday. When less well-to-do women went out, they wore a boerenhoedje, a straw hat. Its silk lining in pastel shades was turned up and out into a peak. The straw hat had its origin in France as a beach hat, the chapeau de la plage. As this woman in Kapendekje shows us, false locks of hair were once part of the ornamentation of the cask. Traveling attire included a reed basket, a handbag made of 30 to 35,000 beads, a chain held it to the waist. The bag, the zwarte dekje, the kapendekje, the boerenhoed, the coral and the garnet jewelry, the pickpocket-proof pocket. They all disappeared years ago as far as living costume is concerned, but nothing seems to have been thrown away. In Schagen, in fact, it all comes out of mothballs every summer. In many parts of the Netherlands, it's customary to dress up and parade about in traditional costume on very special occasions. In West-Friesland, these are the Schagen days in summer. A highlight of the Schagen days is a big parade, in which what seems to be the entire 19th century marches toward the market in town, where there is to be a dance. West-Friesland in a 19th century mood, when the farming life seems to have been a good one.